The man in charge of policing the royal wedding and the 2012 Olympics has been asked to explain why he gave false information to a group of MPs. Met Commander Bob Broadhurst has been summoned to reappear before the Home Affairs Select Committee after denying that plainclothes police officers were in the crowds at the G20 protests 2 years ago. Scotland Yard has now admitted covert officers were deployed. Our Home Affairs correspondent Guy Smith has the story.
This is apparently a plainclothes officer during the G20 protests in April 2009. You can see he's carrying a police-issued metal baton, appearing to be mingling with his uniformed colleagues. But listen to this.
We had no plainclothes officers deployed within the crowd. It would have been dangerous for them to put plainclothes officers in a crowd like that.
That was an emphatic denial by Britain's most senior public order officer to a powerful parliamentary committee looking into how the G20 protests were handled. The Met Police has now admitted the evidence given by Commander Bob Broadhurst to MPs was inaccurate.
This is an astonishing turn of events, which has occurred only because of the revelations in the media about undercover operations. And certainly the committee has not been cited on this before. We were given information that turns out to be wrong. The Metropolitan Police have apologised in a press release. They need to come before the committee and do the same thing.
At the time, there was much media debate about undercover officers actively stirring up violence. In short, Agent Provocateurs. During the same hearing, this was the Met Commissioner Sir Paul Stevenson's response.
The idea that we will put Agent Provocateurs in the crowd is wholly antithetic to everything I've known about policing for the best part of 34 years.
It comes as no great revelation undercover officers would be in the crowd spotting troublemakers. What is a surprise, though, is why misinformation was given to MPs. Did Commander Bob Broadhurst deliberately mislead, or did he just not know where his officers were?
If he deliberately misled not only the Select Committee at the House of Commons but also the police authority who've asked the same questions, then he should be sacked.
I worked with Bob for a number of years. He's a very, very experienced public order commander and has done some of the most difficult public order events in London. He is a man of great integrity and he has great honesty in the way he does work.
The Met has already apologised, but it doesn't look good for the man who will be heading up the operational planning for next year's London Olympics. He will have to explain himself to MPs next Tuesday.
And Guy Smith's outside Scotland Yard for us now. So Guy, what does this mean for the Metropolitan Police?
Well, Riz, this is acutely embarrassing for Scotland Yard. Commander Bob Broadhurst is highly respected. Not only is he the most experienced public order officer the Met has, but he's the most experienced in his field in the country. He now faces a grilling in front of MPs. They'll be asking him what he knew, when he knew it, and why was misinformation given to democratically elected representatives. The Metropolitan Police Authority is now considering whether he should be disciplined or not. But on a more general point, Keith Vasley, chairman of the Home Affairs Select Committee, said tonight, or questioned tonight, why his committee was constantly kept in the dark on how undercover officers were deployed. So in sum, clearly a very embarrassing situation for the Met.
Guy, thank you. Our Home Affairs correspondent, Guy Smith.